Hi everyone, welcome back. It's Gina once again. I have been away for quite a long time. I do apologize for that. Life has been tough. I've been hit with a lot of stuff, emotionally, physically, financially, but I've also been blessed, and I would like to thank God for that as well, for being with me in it and through it. Thank you for all those who checked in to see if I was okay. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate it, and I'm very encouraged by it as well. So I'm starting off in my mixed media journal, which I love. It is, the size is 9 by 12 inches. I use my football pen to just make some marks because I haven't created in over a month, and I feel very green. Yes, I feel very green. So I just went back to what felt natural and good for me, which is just to do something abstract. So I just made some marks because I didn't know what to do, but I wanted to really do something, and I'm adding some acrylic paint over that now. I bordered my page with masking tape because I like that crisp edge and, just that nice frame that it gives my finished piece when I'm done. Today my colors are, what is that? It's a kind of purple. It's island blue, and it's black and white. I can't remember what the name of the purple is. Hold on. It is Fun Fuchsia. It's pretty cool. So this is deco art I'm using. I'm also using Sargent paint, which I just love because it's very versatile and it's readily available. It's awesome. Again, I would like to thank you all for sticking around, and I hope that you stick around for all my future projects and explorations. But it's good to be back. It really is good to be back. I hope you all have been well. I really wanted to do the entire iCard series, but things didn't work out, and that's okay. For all of you all who start projects and you don't finish, I think it's okay, and I think it's good for us not to beat ourselves up. Here I'm adding some acrylic paint. I'm just doing it kind of in the same areas that I added the paint marks. Sorry, the pen marks with the football pen. So I'm just kind of roughly doing it, kind of over it, just haphazardly, because I still want to see some of those thinner lines through the acrylic paint. Oh, I also bought what is this called, boy? It's a Teflon sheet. That's what it is. It's a 12 by 16 Teflon sheet I purchased. I found it online, locally, in Trinidad. That's where I live. And I'm excited to use it because it's supposed to be non-stick. It's pretty dark though, that's the only thing. It's not a nice bright surface like what I'm accustomed using. But that's okay. I'll try it and see how it works. I'll tape it down and we'll try it out and see how it works as my surface. I don't know. It's a bit dark, but we'll see. So I'm using here a baby wipe just to wipe up some areas and smoothen out some areas because I didn't really like how it was looking. And I was kind of lost at this point, so I decided let's add some drama. So I'm adding the black in between there. And I found it was a bit intense, so I'm going to use the back of the brush to make some marks in between just to get some character happening on my page. It was strange though. It is strange coming back after so long drawing because I haven't painted I think it's been 2 months. And it doesn't feel good. I don't know how many of you all have ever taken such a long break. Whether it's because your mind wasn't ready, For me, I really wanted to. Every day I thought about it. I really wanted to, and I couldn't. And it's been tough. Here I'm using the back of the brush just to make some dots because I'm at a loss and I don't know what else to do. So I thought let's add some dots, and my plan was just to add it in these 3 small areas. And then things just got out of hand and I added it almost everywhere. because it felt good. Honestly, it felt good. So I would like to encourage you all to do what feels good. Sometimes we have an idea of what we want our page to look like or what we want to do when we sit down at the desk, but then our mind has a mind of its own. And sometimes we should listen to it. See, I'm just going in with the colors that I used today on the background, and it felt so good, and I just kept going further and further into each other's spaces. And I was like, Gina, why are you? But then I was like, yeah, this feels good. And all I was thinking is, I want some of the dots bigger and some not so big, and I want I want them nice and full. And I was loving the way that it looked, and I enjoyed that process. So sometimes art is about just enjoying the process, not trying to get the outcome to be what we want it to be, but just... And that I realize for me personally, that's what it is a lot of the times. It's just about enjoying the process. And then I had to wait for it to dry, and I had other stuff to do, so I came back at it the next day, and I thought it looks kind of bottom heavy because we have all that black down below. So I put this mark to the top to try and balance it off. And then I couldn't think of what to do again. So I brought in my collage papers. I was digging around and I saw this color and I thought it would actually kind of suit the purple dots that I have. So I thought I'd use that. I wasn't sure if I wanted to cover it up. I actually wanted to stop right there because I really loved doing those dots and I liked how it looked, and I thought that was it. But then I thought, nah, let's get uncomfortable and let's do some collage over the top of that, because for me that was uncomfortable. And I like that sometimes we should try to do things that make us uncomfortable. It's not only about staying in our comfort zones. So I got uncomfortable and I brought out my pieces, and I decided I'm going to cover up some of those dots, and I'll see how that makes me feel, and I'll see how that looks. So I'm just testing out some shapes here, trying to figure out, do I actually want to use it? I found this blue as well. I just love this blue. It's just awesome. And I was trying to figure out, do I want to add this blue to this page? Is it matching? Does this even make sense? So I'm just playing around with some of the shapes, trying to figure out what to do, if I want to do it, if I'm going to use it, and we'll see what happens next. At this point, I thought to myself, Gina, you're going to end up sitting here for all the rest of the time that you have, and you're going to just be fiddling around with these pieces of paper, and you're not going to make up your mind. So I made a decision to just stick something down, and that's what happened. And then from there, I just kept sticking and kept choosing shapes and choosing positions, and I just kept making one decision after the next, until I got my pieces down. So this big black thing that I popped on the table is a rice bag. So one of my subscribers, she recommended that I make a rice bag. She said Laurie Marie Jenkins made one, or she probably has more than one. But she's the one who made it, and she uses it to keep her stuff down. She puts wax paper in between so it doesn't stick. And I remember thinking that is such a cool idea. So at the time, I didn't really have the time to do it, but I kept it in mind and I did it. So thank you so much for that. Thank you. I think before I used it, I found a piece of foam and I had a heavy glass, so I used that in the meantime. But I finally decided that I'm going to make my bags, and I think I did about 3. That's probably the biggest one that I have, but I think I did about 3, or maybe not. But yeah, it looks kind of really huge, but it works. It works. I was so happy. I was so excited. That was actually the first time I used it. This right here is the first time I used it. The material I used, it's some old clothes that I had, and instead of throwing it out, it's a jeans. I'm so it's a jeans that I had for many years. It worked so well, and then I put it on the other day and it had a hole, and I was like, no. And then I was like, that's fine, I could patch that. But then when I put it on and I looked all around, I saw that it was thinning out in other areas too. So I said, you know what, I'll just cut it. I'll cut it and use the shorter piece home, and the legs that I cut off, I used it to make the bags. Woohoo! So recycle, reuse. Yeah, repurpose. So I decided to make some marks with these pens. I'm using the Posca paint pen. And I'm still thinking I didn't really like the page. So I thought, let's do some more collaging, but bigger pieces. So I'm just going to fiddle around to see what works, what doesn't, what feels right, and see what happens there. I really like how this purple looks on top of the black. I really like it. But for some reason, it didn't feel right on this page. I went looking around for other pieces that I have, but they didn't feel right either. Not on this page. But yeah, I really love that. Just that. So I decided to use the black because I really loved how the black looked, but it just felt too big. So I just kind of minimized it, and I'm using it on the page but separately. And I'm using regular school glue to stick everything down. I really want to use this blue as well, but I feel like I'm covering the entire page, so I'm trying to get away from that. So I was looking for something else and I found this small stencil and I thought, okay, let's just make some marks on top of the black just to break it up a bit. And I found my pilot pen. It's the silver one, so I'm using that just to make some marks on certain parts of the black. I also wanted to say that being away from creating for so long, it showed me even more how much creating is important and how much I missed it and needed it. And I need it in my life. So even if whatever you're creating comes out like crap to you, I think it's really important just to get it out. Because you have stuff building up inside and we may not realize it, but it does connect with our emotions and whatever it is we're going through in our lives. Because so many times I go in with the intention of, okay, I think I want to do this today, maybe-ish. And then something very interesting comes out on paper that I never even thought was inside. So I just want to encourage everybody to create. And if you don't beat yourself up. It will come in time. But just keep thinking with the intention that it is going to happen. Yeah, so you'll be hopeful. At least for me, that's how I feel. If creating is important, which for me it is very important. And journaling in this way, this is art journaling for me. I didn't need words. I just needed to create, and that's what I did. Just like people who journal with words, they just write. So we who art journal, we just art. Yep. So I didn't like the page, so I brought in my frame. This is a cardboard frame that I cut out and I painted. And I thought, okay, maybe there are certain parts of the page that I might like. So I thought I'd break it up using the frame, and I actually really love it. I love this one. This one, not so much. I think I have some issues with those squares with the white frames down below. I don't like those. I realize I don't like them. But I like this one, and I like this one. And I like that one. And this one actually isn't too bad. Yeah, it's not too bad. But I really like the top. I don't know why. I don't know. What's the difference? And then I was thinking, okay, let me try it from different angles. And I like that too. And I like this one too. I love it, actually. This one kind of makes me think of a skyscape or something with buildings. I really like them. So I feel like I want to cut it. But I don't know, because there's only so much I could cut. Yeah. See, I can't decide. So within this entire page, the entirety of the page I don't like, but the parts of it that I do like, yeah, I'm good. So, as usual, let me know what you think. It's my first time coming back after so long. I feel like a real novice, like I haven't created ever, and it's my first, art journal page ever. But yeah, let me know what you think. And again, thank you for still being here, and I hope that I will continue creating more and more often, much more often. And I will see you in the next video. I'm going to give you the moving close-ups and then the still close-ups. But again, thank you all so much. I appreciate all of you. And I really hope all of you are doing well and you are creating and, doing well in other areas of your life as well. All right, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.